Hello everyone. Today we will talk here in Imperfect Design about design systems, specifically about the styles. Let's discover the world of styles defining how actually it is happening. What is the journey between identifying those are styles and those are useless things? So I invite you to join this journey with me. We pass through and I hope you will enjoy it. If not, sorry guys, let your comments and I will be better next time. Okay, so here we are, and we start to work with some identity. Okay, I ask you, I generate a logo for some imaginary company that works with trade show booths, and here is small disclaimer: it is a B minus logo, so please don't pay attention. It is a work for the marketing team designers, not for product designers. So what we will focus on is everything related to product. What we will use with this. If for some reason we have no brand book and we cannot reuse already prepared some styles from there, or if the product is not really relevant to the company styles, it's also possible it has individual branding and you have only logo of product. You can work. You need to start where to need to know where to start to work with. So let's go ahead. This is our logo. We live with this. Not perfect, imperfect design. So let's go ahead. We first would need a rectangle. I'm going to prepare a palette that we start with. Yeah, that will be our first palette. Let's say I will copy the colors that used in the logo. Okay, so we have some yellow, definitely white, and like very important here, and the navy blue. That's it. Okay, so I'll lay out it so I can manage them inside. Now, when I have these colors, well, they're pretty simple, very how to say, a childish way, but it's not scary for us. We need to figure out, okay, what are the proportions of this? Let's take a look. I would say the red is like not the best one, should be small amount, more like an accent, the blue the same. Yellow, not so important, but like still a valuable member of this team. And definitely navy blue and white will be the most important. Okay, so this is our palette. Oh, okay, what happened with you guys? I think we need to do fill. Okay, so this is my palette and that's where we start with. Okay, so we say this is my first step, a baby step to my styles in design system. We stay with this. Now we need to identify the fonts. As this logo was generated by AI, I have no idea what is, but we will try to guess. My default font here is Inter, so let's see. Okay, caps. Trade show booth. They are very smart name. Whatever, trade booth actually. Anyhow, okay. Actually lucky to see that we are pretty close to this. So let's say like this, something. So yeah, I would say that's good option. Bold or maybe extra bold. Um, hmm. It is closer to bold, but let's go with extra bold and we'll treat. Okay, trade show booth. Okay, and this guy like a bit smaller. What will be 18, 16, and this is too much, like semi-bold. It's also closer to bold, but I will keep it semi-bold. Okay, so I would say, okay, great. This will be our inter looks pretty much what we need. I'm not really a fan of it because it's kind of in my eyes personally, it's a bit like scratching my eyes all the time. Don't know how to explain it, but overall it's easy to read, right? Let's go with this. I would say, yeah, definitely we need to define the text color, which is should be something like this, not use really black. Okay, that would be it. So this our beginning of the beginning. There is no text we identify it later, like the text blocks, but we will go already. The main styles from the identity we have is this one. Okay, I took a small initiative and thinking, okay, how could look actually the website for this company? I very quick, like 10 minutes work, so it's very primitive, one page, even half page. Okay, this is it. We can see that how we can use the buttons with the accent colors, maybe not sure about this one, but if you find the color, could be. Okay, some icon styles and text usage, because see here I didn't use the caps lock, so no really this screaming things. Even okay, the big text is still trending, but we go on with this probably, and we need to identify what actually could be a product of it. And product, let's say it will be an editor, okay, online editor where the users could make some changes, apply the identity, and set the size of the spot in a trade show that they rent, and they have possible options how it could look. Okay, so some basic editors, maybe the menu, the main editor will be in the middle, so structure more or less like this. Some selections and functionalities, like it's the baby. It's like no idea. It's just to understand. Okay, we definitely will need cards. We definitely will need buttons. This is like not even a question. We definitely would need to understand. Okay, what the spacing we need if everything's going on inside the editor, so how it will be set. Okay, so let's okay, this is our helpers. We will use them in a while, or we always can go back to them because they will be like reference. And now we will go to the structure of design system styles by itself. Okay, so structure. We will focus now just on the styles, except page grids. We will talk later and in other videos about components. I will take a look on this from atomic design perspective, which I believe the most common thing. And tokens I separate here because in general it is integrated in styles and components by itself, but we will take a look at this later. It's a huge topic, individual, and it requires a lot of negotiation, cross functional collaboration, because they involves a lot of developers and you need to be agreed with them how to do this. It's not just whatever designers design. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the typography. We see here typography. We already defined that our font is Inter, and we stick with this. And here you can find three options. It could be any option, but I give you like the basics. Uh, you can use the basic HTML option, which contains 6 header sizes and the body text. You can have a presentation-ish way where you have a hero text, 3 headers, 3 bodies, and subtext. Or you can set already the sizes and weights in the text with all options possible, which requires like more option. If you need the more option, if you need wider possibilities, it is the way. Because this there's no such a thing as header 9. You can name it, but the established rule, let's say the established reality with HTML is 6 headers. Yeah. So there's the thing. Just keep in mind what you can try any of them. So you set the size of the text with value here. We will create these styles later on. Right now, I just passed through all the styles we saw in the previous with the structure cheat sheet. And so now we can continue with the rest, and we come back to adding styles later. Okay, now we talk about colors. So colors, this section of the colors contains primary colors. It's what we agreed here, the mostly these 3 guys, because they are the bosses of the bosses, and the grayscale. So around this we will construct all the styles, because every additional every secondary or complementary color, they will be based on idea it should be very friendly to these 3. They should be friends. They cannot be in conflict. They should not be like neutral to them or make them looks bad. Okay, and so we have the status color. They're the status color. What is this? Um, we with the status color we add in an emotional feeling with the text we provide to user. We almost all familiar with the idea red, yellow, and green codes. It's like traffic lights, an evaluation of emotions, pretty common for us. So green, everything is good, is success, it's ready to go. Just take a look. Red is an error. Error states all prevention of errors when it's important to stop user, let him think. Orange is or yellow. The purpose is the warning. We need to warn user about that there's some information missing, or if you do this, you will have unreversible results. So please think about this. And we need some informational color, which is pretty often some neutral. It could be purple. Maybe in our case, it will be purple because we already have two blues in our complementary and primary colors. Complementary, it will be those ones. They will work like an accent mostly. So to not stay in conflict, especially these two, maybe we need to change this. How to make a grayscale or the color scales from 100 to 900, I talk in another video. So if you're interested, please check. Right now I will not stop on this, and we can continue with the borders. So in border section, we need to define what the borders we use. Do we use them or not? What the size of them, and what the color, and what the border radius, the corner radius. I use pretty random color. Well, random. I made it out from the colors we already set. Um, just 1 pixel because we need to have some baseline, and when we already have few screens, we can define, okay, what actually will be the needs of this. You also see that the corner radius are defined here is 0, 4, 8, 12, and 16. I use 40-point system. It means that any value I use should be divide by 4 or multiply 4, right? This system allows you to work with more precise components in a more flexible way, let's say, like buttons or small elements. But if we're talking about the page structure, I would suggest you to use 8-point system because it allows us to follow the general web responsiveness. It'd be more precise to this. Okay, also why I stop on 16, why I don't go further. It's, again, we have no screens, we cannot say what exactly we need. But as we have our logo here, let's quickly take a look. It has rounded corners, but it also has sharpy text. So I believe if you go further with this, it will be too smooth, it will be too soapy like looking design. Also, I'm not sure about 4 pixels or 8. I believe one of them could be disappearing in the future, could disappear in the future. And so again, for the baseline is good enough. We go on with this one. Woohoo! Now, spacing. With spacing, it's actually almost a magical thing. What I mean by this, user by default with no really focus, doesn't really focus on spacing. Users focus on the components, elements, text, right? But subconsciously we read it, we scan the space on the screen, and we do this, like, again, no intentional, right? So when the spacing set correctly, when the spacing is consistent and reasonable, it makes your product feel more professional. It reduces the cognitive load of users' mind. So this is the idea. For the gaps, Yeah, the spacing between elements. You need to define how it works between icon and text, between title and the text block or elements, vertically, horizontally, if it's different or whatever. And the same for the padding. So the space between the edge of the component and the element inside. This is important to help user to focus on something. It works perfectly for popovers, models, for anything where you need to give a little bit of air to breathe for your elements that you use, or picture, yeah, and like illustration or any idea that user needs to see here. Okay, so again, baseline, we will change if needed. So far, good enough to go. Let's go. Shadows. So with shadows, actually, idea is, do you really need a shadow? If you don't need a shadow, how you work with elevations? If you have shadows, elevations, by elevation I mean like when you have components that have higher level, right? For example, popovers or side panels or drop downs and etc. How actually you show them? Maybe it's not really increasing the elevation level with the shadow, the depth of shadow, but maybe it's the color, like in material design latest, when the popover has the color, the background color, and very small shade. So maybe even no need a shade, how it works. So you define, I put a basic shadows here just to have it like, okay, we see this elevation, yeah, like each next component, it feels like it's higher from the background. This is the idea that how shadows work. So we need to identify this. The icons here is actually just an example. It should be a proper idea where we use for, like what we represent with the icons, and also the style of them. Here you see they all in the same style, but we need to first be defined by ourselves. Okay, I use font awesome. How to make a component with it, I will show you in another video. Here we have, oh, this is the solid. Okay, just thinking. So what will work best for us? As you saw on the website's design, I thought, okay, they probably will work better for us, the light one. That's why I changed them. I select the light. So this is should be presented the main icons here. Okay, you see notifications, help center, settings, what it should be, user, or if it's for mobile application, what actually we use, like home, menu, all the basics, like what actually we have, like create maybe. And the images, this is actually a very interesting thing. So why images? Uh, Images in design system, they represent the whole style of visuals, like pictures, yeah, illustrations or pictures. Here you see the difference, what different impression give this picture and this picture. So they are not going together. I just place them to show to you how different could be this. So if we have a product with this picture, or we have a product with this picture, and as we're working on something which will be probably B2B, I believe this one will be the case. And obviously, it should be more than one. You have a lot of images that show a lot. You need to set, okay, the user's pictures that if you need, or the map pictures, or maybe it is the some logos, or what actually styles of default pictures maybe you need to use. Okay, so this pretty much the styles. Now we go to idea how to add them to the library. Okay, so now is the time to add the styles. I will go with this approach right now because I believe we'll not work on something big, whatever. Guys, let's move a bit. And so how do we do this? Very quick, because it's not a tutorial by itself, how to add the styles, but just to have an idea to include in the current video. So I already said a great one. Nice. So this is a here title. Let's start with H1, which has 32, semi-bold, and the line had 30. And I say, okay, everything that I see here is actually what I want. It looks like I need it. So I go in here, I would like add a style, and I call it like H1 or header 1. which maybe each one will be better. It will be easy to find also. In description, you can put where you use it, but at the moment we use it nowhere. I skip it. Yeah, let's do this very quickly for all of our guys. We do H2 and done. It's put it slightly closer so I don't need to go through all the screen to do this. 3, let's go ahead. H3, oh, very smart. Let's do again. H3, we add. Okay, add body 1, easy to identify like this. Now body 2, human body 2. And this is body 3. Body 3. Good. And for me, it's easy to call it subtext. But if you feel any other way, you can do whatever you feel. So I will keep it subtext. Okay, so we identify the text. Now we have this typography. Mhm. Now let's continue with the color. We already identified, now need to save as the style. So we're going with the white one. Yes, white one also need to be added as the color. There are different ways to do this. So you can say already the yellow for some reason, but okay. So I can add to the main colors, but also would like to create another color section, which will be gray slash white. What does mean? It's in a gray scale. The shade is white. Why I use slash after slash, everything before slash become a name of the group, like in this case main. So I create this. I didn't set the color. Very nice. Let's do it again. Properties. Okay, so and I can do like this. Now we have it. Fantastic. So now if I would like to add any color here to the group, you see you already have gray and slash. So I can say, okay, a gray 100. A gray 100, not the best, maybe. Okay, let's keep it like this. Because when we will work on tokens, we will identify anyway how it should look. It's this guy. Where it used also this description, but as we have no usage, cannot fill it. Okay, we add gray 200. Why my gray didn't add? This is the question. Why I closed not saving? Okay, perfect. Okay, and just say style. Need to create again the 100. And they continue with all of them. Yes, it's pretty boring, but you need to do this once and then you will reuse it in the way how it should be. It means like you always have your palette. And actually also what I do pretty often, I copy this if it is a group and say, okay, this is 300. It's just adding the number at the end. So 300 style done. Now I do another one. Maybe need just the other part, 400. This one, the style, very good. There we go. Okay. This one I will copy. It will be 500. And I believe that's all I will show right now because, again, yeah, this is very repetitive work. I need to do this. Nobody interested to look at this. But we're going with the rest. So you need to finish with all the colors. And go in here. So the borders, right? This is something that we also can add as a style. For the radius, we cannot add, but we will do this when we will work on the tokens because we already can send tokens inside. Right now, we'll state like this. The stroke, well, to be honest, I don't believe we need because we will add just the style of the color right there. But again, back to the tokens, there we will work. The spacing will be pretty much the same because by itself, Figma doesn't have spacing styles, right? We're gonna add it. It has effect, loud, guide, or whatever. So not really these things, but shadows. That's something we can add. Oh, I have something already set it up. Interesting. So anyhow, I would like to add one. Fantastic. Let's do it again. We add, and we're saying this is large, right? large, and I will put shadows. Large, create. Okay, and you said the same for, so now if you go into the styles, we can see there are our color style, there are now effect styles, when you can see the shadow large. And for icons, it's a different style. For images, you still can save it as a style, but more like a feeling. So right now it's so feel here, right? And I would like to add it. Would like to do this to the library. Oops, I would like to edit, and let's say I don't say users woman. Try again. One. Okay, and now we will have it in the styles users woman one. You can name it whatever you want, and adding all of these styles will help us when we connect our design system as a library to any other files. We will use these styles only, and it will keep help us to keep consistent our designs, to not looking all the time for the real value of the hex of the color or the text. So it is the working with the styles library, the simplest way to work in Figma. That's all pretty much for today. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this journey. So that's all. This is the baseline of the design system. We set some styles, but how to use them, we will see in part two. I hope you enjoyed this. At least you've been hooked for to continue watching about design system in general, or not scared in my representation how it works. If so, sorry guys, try to find out with other YouTubers, or maybe by yourself, or send me questions and comments in the below the video, and then I will answer to you, and I maybe adjust my presentation or focus on something that you're really interested in, to not guess. Thanks a lot. Love everybody. Remember, it is the imperfect design, imperfect process, pixel perfect design. Ciao ciao.